When I was 4, I found out that I had a really severe and major heart defect, which really should have been picked up from when I was born. Basically, it's called a patent arterial ductus. Believe it or not, everybody has this when they're born. So basically, when you're born and brought into the world, your heart has a valve that's open and then it closes and heals naturally. Mine stayed open. Nobody knew that. Nobody detected that. And again, it's to do with ADHD because the ADHD masked my heart defect because of how I presented myself on the exterior when in the interior was failing and shutting down. And, I think that's such an important message because that can resonate to anybody that's not just going through, ADHD or a neurodivergent, but mental health in general. We don't really know what people are thinking and feeling on the inside. To some people, it can look wonderful. Their life can look very glamorous and very exuberant and exciting. And what you're complaining about, you've got everything in front of you. You look fantastic, but on the inside, everything's failing and falling apart. And that's the kind of story really with the heart defect is that my ADHD masked it. And like I said, swinging from curtain to curtain, like Mowgli out the Jungle Book, you had surplus energy. Um, didn't present myself as a sick, poorly child. So nobody really picked up on it. And it took me to the point where I actually collapsed for someone to take me to the doctors and then the hospital to find it. And then when they did find it, it was really late on. So I was like 4 years old. And they had to do an emergency operation, which took place at Killingbeck Cardiological Hospital, which was in Leeds. And sadly, it's been demolished now. It's been flattened and taken away, but it's travesty. But actually, the cardiological part of that now is at St James's Hospital in Leeds. But yeah, looking back in hindsight, that was a really tough time for myself, my family, everybody around me. But again, the ADHD thing masked a lot of it. So how nobody picked up on it was it's still beyond me.
Yeah.
Every school report that I got, it was Ryan can't sit still. Ryan's an excessive talker. Ryan fidgets. Ryan is out of control. He's bad. He doesn't listen. He's disruptive, distractive, daydreams. The dreams of Hollywood blockbusters almost.
Yeah.
But then he's not present in the room. He's unpunctual, can't focus, can't listen, can't concentrate. All these things that were thrown at me as a child and then continued into my teenage years, into my adolescence, into my adulthood. So again, it's all these reoccurring things. And yeah, school never really mentioned it. My mum started to pick up on it. My mum's always been ahead of the game with that kind of thing. And she knew that I was not doing too well at school academically, so she wanted to intervene and try to get me some support, what we now know as special educational needs and things like that, the support for that. There was none of that put in place for me. My mum was treated like she was some sort of neurotic parent, do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
she was making it all up and, it's crazy when I look back at it, but yeah, it's definitely had an impact on my life from a young age, and it's always been with me from a young age. And yeah, I do think that the heart problem and a lot of other things that I've gone through that has caused my body trauma, ADHD's maybe mask the impact of that to everybody else in society for sure.
It sounds like a lot. Like, it sounds like you've been through the ringer a little bit.
Right, we're 10 minutes in, we're getting into the heavy stuff already. It's
Mate, we'll hit the heavy stuff and then we'll have a laugh, like, in like 10 minutes time, and we'll talk
I
like
mean, we can have a
yeah.
laugh about the heavy stuff. I mean, I'm pretty light-hearted with it all, to be honest with you. But
It's
it's what
alright. We'll
Yorkshire
we'll we'll
team
talk
does.
about my we'll talk about my dad dying soon, mate, and then we'll just really bring the
Oh
mood down.
my word! Yeah. Okay.
I'm joking, I'm
Okay.
joking. That is a joke that I have with a lot of guests, by the way. But yeah, no, I do get it. There's a lot of people around me that do. I don't want to say suffer with ADHD because I feel like people manage
Yeah, people
ADHD.
manage, people cope. And I always say to people, whether you're diagnosed or undiagnosed, um, people are more educated now than ever. They've got more information, more resources to learn about these things. Even if you're self-diagnosed, as long as you're self-aware and you can self-accept and self-heal, and you, like I say, are aware of what ADHD is, the condition, and you're knowledgeable on it, and it can become manageable. But again, it's when all these things, these reoccurring things, have an impact in your life, and they're causing problem after problem in every area of your life, then obviously you do need to take some action on that, and that's kind of what's happened with me as time's gone on. So
This is it. Yeah, yeah. Well, and it's kind of, I guess, formed you into the person you are today. That's been able to go out and then.
Absolutely, absolutely. The way I like to see it, and you can put this in or whatever, but the way I like to see ADHD isn't attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. I actually see it as achieving despite his or her diagnosis. So,
Ooh, I love that.
again, I think that's a really strong, powerful message to empower people with ADHD, that just because you've been given this label doesn't define you. And it certainly doesn't mean to say that you are incapable of achieving basically what you want to achieve. Um, I knew from a young age, as I mentioned, that I've always wanted to be a performer and an entertainer, and be a creative. And yeah, it's not been an easy ride. It's been an enduring, painful journey. But at the same time, it's also been a very exciting and um, eye-opening experience for me. And I've managed to do it with that sort of perseverance and determination and tenacity. You
Mm.
know, you build all that up, I think. I think ADHD people are very good at building that kind of resilience to overcoming things.
Yeah, 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 definitely, definitely, and you can see it with everything you do. And I've been catching up on a couple of like the podcasts and stuff you've done recently,
Yeah. Yeah, I've
and
talked
stuff.
a lot about this recently on podcasts and things, obviously mainly focused on mental health and neurodiversity and stuff. But yeah, it's a massive part of my life, both talking about my career with you and my family life, and everything that I do, it impacts everything. So yeah, it follows me
Yeah,
around like the tornado. Do you know what I mean?
yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Um, so okay, let me switch it up slightly then, because I think
Okay.
everyone, especially your followers, for example, they know you based on your social output, your characters, your stage presence, and things like that. But
Yeah, sure.
what are you like on your actual kind of your day to, let's say you have a day off. Let's not your day to day, but your day off. Like you're home with the family. How are you at home?
Okay, that's a great question. I'm a very introverted extrovert, so I actually really like being at home. Um, a bit of a hermit when I'm at home, to be honest with you. For somebody who's so proactive and loves meeting people, seeing people, I feel like my work takes me all over the country and sometimes even into other countries and things. So I don't feel like I really have to go out when I'm at home when I'm with my family. Um, so yeah, I spend a lot of time at home just nesting really. Just had a baby, Zane. He's 10 months, 11 months. So yeah,
Congrats.
I feel like I'm relearning how to be a baby dad again. Do you know what I mean? Which is good. And I love my son, so I love my other kids as well. I've got 3 other children, so yeah, really, really important. And I like to chill out. I like to watch Netflix, do a good old Netflix binge. I can't beat a good crime documentary or something which is educational, something that I'm learning something new about. I like watching a lot of YouTube tutorials on really zany, wacky, um, almost surreal things that you wouldn't think of sort of looking for. Do you know what I mean? I'll come across one and then I'll be like, oh, let's look at another one and another one. And then that, you've wasted half a day. Do you know what I mean? Watching YouTube tutorials on how to put a tire on a car or something. It's probably something that I'm never ever going to do, but you know, it's in the back of my brain somewhere.
Down the rabbit hole, like
Yeah, down the road. I also, as you can see, I mean, that's the Keith Haring painting behind me, but I'm really into art and things, and I've recently sort of rekindled a lot of old flames and passion for art again. Um, the lockdown was a massive creative ride for me, a really exciting period creatively, because I actually picked up my pens, pencils, paints again during in the lockdown, and I hadn't done that for many years prior. So, um, yeah, last few years I've been experimenting with art again, and that again that really helps everything. It helps me mentally and emotionally and even physically. You know, it gives me the sort of proactiveness and determination to want to achieve something and finish it. Most importantly, being an ADHD, we're great at starting all these things, opening all these tabs, but never closing them or finishing the project that we start. Um, so yeah, art really chills me out, and I like drawing and painting, and I like music. Obviously, I have a mix. Like having a mix and just experimenting with music. You know, it's all digital now. A lot of it, so there's arguments on both sides when it comes to DJing. Oh, it's all digital. It's all done for you. I don't deny some of that. However, I think creatively now you can practically do anything you want to do musically because the resources are there to do it.